Catus, Maximus here. Just a little review of the AT&Ts. I'll say, I don't know if this is their second or the third generation. All I know is their second generation. This is their second generation 10-watt wireless charging pad. AT&T, at least in the store, charges an outrageous amount of money. 40 bucks. This is their new 15-watt versus the old 10-watt. What I did like is they're charging you a lot of money, but at least on the old one, it was like either they put a steel weight in there. It's obviously an aluminum housing. It's actually pretty nice rubber foot to keep it from slipping around, rubberized top. And so this is the latest generation. A little light ring around the edge. And this is the, I always thought it was called Qi, but I guess it's called Qi wireless charging. And so this is the latest generation one. And yes, wow, that so we can see this one is actually not as heavy as the old one. As far as the diameter, exactly the same diameter. We can see that we've updated it, I believe, yes. So that's USB-C, so it's a bit more modern than the old one, which is using micro USB. But it's a little bit lighter weight. They did cheapify a little bit on it as compared to the old one. We can also see like the old one has a really square profile. This one is a little bit more tilted. I kind of don't like that because it'll kind of bounce around a little bit. This upper rubberized surface is similar to the old one, but it doesn't feel as grippy. This old one had better build quality, but at least they're including a charger and a cable. And how you know if that you have a 5-watt, 10-watt, or 15-watt versions. 5-watt versions only on the specifications are only 5-volt. On 10-watt ones like this will have a 9-volt specification, so it can deliver more power. And something like this, which is a 15-watt, we can see it has a 12-volt specification. So that's how you can just quickly tell if one of these wireless chargers is 5, 10, or 15 watts, is whether it accepts only 5 or 9, or 5, 9, or 12. We'll see if this it does use a proper green, indicating a Qualcomm quick charge, and 12-volt, so standard 18-watt power adapter, and a little USB-C cable with a vinyl rubber band there. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this plugged in and see if the light's any brighter. Wow, I'll give them some credit there. That is one of the tightest USBs I've ever encountered. Alright, we got it powered up, and I have an extra thick case on this phone, and it does pick it right up, so that's something good. I do appreciate it, because the camera's auto-adjusting for the darkness. This light is actually pretty dim. The other thing I'll mention, well, I've got to activate it again here, come on, is I don't really like it's not very consistent. It has just a bunch of kind of like hot spots around the edge. But overall, if it'll work through a thick case, it's not going to deliver the full 15 watts. But at least it will work through a case. Many of these wireless chargers, they just won't pick up if you have too thick of a case. So at least they have some credit for that. And to compare to how the old one looked, let's do that too here. Plug this in. And so here's the older 10-watt one. Yeah, the light is a lot brighter. That's surprising. Pull that off. Same kind of highlights, but that light is way brighter. I'm kind of surprised that the light would be so much dimmer on the newer one than it was on the older one. Let's go back to that again. Yeah, I'd say that the lights on this new 15-watt one are about, I don't know, 30% dimmer. So that's my little video, and that's a little disappointing. As so many things in life, it seems, and I believe this old 10-watt one was also 40 bucks, and it appears that for the cost, because the USB-C port's a little more expensive, and the fact that they're including an 18-watt Qualcomm quick charging brick, which is nice. You can use this for all sorts of stuff, which is handy. But to include the better charging brick, Actually decently thick, pretty decent USB-C cable that's probably about 3 feet long. It's not one of those obscenely short ones. And a higher power Qi charger that the actual build quality has gone down. It's just not as thick, not as heavy, not as substantial, and the lights aren't as bright. Which is a shame. You know, AT&T should have stuck with the better build quality, because to tell you the truth, as far as these wireless charging pads, this old one, I got a little nick there, was one of the best. You know, I have a lot of them, and I'm going to make a video comparing them all. But this was one of the top ones. It really stood out just because of how substantial and the nice aluminum body and the nice bright light ring. Even though this one's faster, it's just, you know, and it's still pretty good compared to a lot of the charging pads out there. It's still aluminum body, but it's just not quite as good. And I would have liked the light to be a little bit brighter. Also, instead of just pulsing blue, it would have been really cool if it was something where it was like blue when you first plugged it in and it turned to red when it was charging, like many others do. Anyway, that's my little video about AT&T's next generation 15-watt Qi wireless charging pad. For 40 bucks, it's really an okay kit, but not quite as physically good as they used to be. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.